What's good, Fins Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and I'm joined by the homie Martin, and we are back here for another one. Hope everyone is having a great Tuesday evening. How you doing, Martin? What's going on, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Fins up, everybody. What's good?
Not much, man. Kind of surprised by Dolphins Twitter today. I dragged a Bengals fan. That was pretty fun. And then on top of that, bro, the amount of people that want to trade for Keneal Harry.
Really?
Yeah, because he's formally requested a trade through his agent.
Oh,
And I'm like, why? We have 13 receivers. What are we trying to get to 20? Like, there's no need. There's no need. I'd rather see Lynn Bowden, Kirk Merritt, these other guys get a chance. I'm trying to get rid of guys here. I'm not trying to bring more in,
Are they linking him to us, though, or just whoever
No.
is available?
Dolphin fans are just like, oh, we should trade for him. I'm like, are you crazy?
Nah.
And then the homie clown put out an article that said, Keneal Harry requested a trade. That's nice, but here's why the Dolphins shouldn't trade for him. I was like, attaboy.
Yeah, so, we're too crowded.
Yeah, and I don't even think the guy can't separate. Why the hell do we want him, bro? You know what I mean?
True.
This isn't college, you know what I mean? So,
true.
Man, it's crazy because we're still 21. We are now 3 weeks, literally to the day, away from training camp opening up, bro.
Day one, yes, sir.
So tonight we're gonna look at the top 5 breakout candidates I've selected for the 2021 season. Me and Martin will talk about them. We're also going to go over an article from Bleacher Report. It just said one move every NFL team should make. We'll talk about what they said. We're going to go over yesterday. We talked about NFL.com putting out an article predicting the MVP for every team. Well, CBS did the same. We'll talk about who they picked. Maurice Jones-Drew ranked all 32 running back ones, and Myles Gaskin got the super snuff. So we'll talk about that. Tom Pelissero put out a tweet that should interest everyone. We'll talk about that. Then we'll hop into it. And tomorrow night, we're going to do the top 5 candidates to be cut. And I don't mean like Calvin Munson and stuff. We're going to talk about like actual guys that are on the bubble, returning veterans that are on the bubble. So the top 5 veteran cuts tomorrow will be what we'll do. And then, and then I'll be back here on Friday night. So, but yeah, other than that, man, how was your July 4th weekend, bro?
Pretty good, man. I did pretty much what everybody else was doing, barbecuing, man. I put everything on that grill, man.
Bro, were you like Joey Chestnut? Did you eat like 70-something hot dogs, bro?
That's the one thing I did not make, man. For whatever reason, I don't know why it skipped my mind to make the hot dogs. I was too focused on the ribs and the chicken and everything else in between. But I was like, hold up, bro. Why not make hot dogs, man? But I mean, it is what it is. It was good though. What about yours?
Well, out here it's normal, everything going right. Like we had July 1st was a day off because that was Canada Day, but I actually I hate Canada Day because that's the day, Canada Day 1997. My grandfather died on that day. And my grandfather, like just quick backstory, my dad left when I was a little young. My grandfather he was my dad's dad, and he stepped in with my mom and my half sister from another marriage for my mom. And, he stepped up while my dad left. So,
wow.
Yeah, when my grandpa died, I was an avid baseball player. I played baseball at a pretty high level. I was playing with kids 2 to 3 years older than me from the age of 9 to the age of 13. And then I quit baseball when he died because he had never missed a game.
Damn.
So, yeah, that was my guy. So I'm not a really big fan of Canada Day. So that was on Thursday. So we had like Thursday off, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then no Monday or Friday off. So, but yeah, man. And just because I know I'll forget. What were you gonna say about the show?
The show?
Yeah, the show.
Oh, nah, man, I'm a huge fan of baseball video games, bro. Like I've been playing those games like on the low. Like most of the games we play like in my old neighborhoods was like, Madden, NFL 2K.
Yo, do you remember back in the day when the EA Sports had triple play?
I never played triple play, but yes, I remember. Mm-hmm.
It's fire. Do you play the show?
Mm-hmm. I did. I did play the show for a while back in college, man. I was addicted to that, man. But not the newer ones though.
Yeah, I've been playing it for like a minute, bro. Like I was actually looking at old pictures today and I had a picture of like the show 13. So I love that game, man. DG donates $5. Said Albert Wilson, Khalil Mack, 772, Fort Pierce, Florida. Grown. Yeah. So proud.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
That's just up north, man, from Miami.
Yeah, so, a lot of talent comes out of there, right?
Oh yeah, Florida.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Except they can't get the quarterback right for some reason.
I know,
which is crazy considering the lineage of Dan Marino. You know what I mean? Like all these kids growing up watching Dan Marino and all this stuff.
Yeah, and I have my own theory about that. Not to get too far off topic, but when you think about like professional quarterbacks and their effect that they had on their cities, right? Mm-hmm. I think about like one that sticks out to me the most is like the Pittsburgh Steelers from the 70s, right? With Terry Bradshaw, and like there was a competition between him and Joe Gilliam at one point in time, but Terry Bradshaw was clearly the guy, right? The blonde bomber, just a freaking cannon arm, and going to 4 Super Bowls.
I've never heard that nickname.
Yeah, that's what Rooney called him, the blonde bomber, and
then turned into the bald bomber not too long after. Anyways, yeah.
But what I'm trying to kind of come across to you is when Terry Bradshaw was in the pros, the quarterbacks that were in high school at the time was like Joe Montana, Marino, Jim Kelly, Dan Marino. Yeah, like those guys saw Terry Bradshaw up close and personal, right? Like, man, that's what it looks like. And then when you talk about like Joe Montana back in the 80s, the kids grew up, watching Joe Montana, wanting to be like Joe Montana. It was like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, like so for us, Dan Marino, yeah, he's here, but
in Miami, man, years ago, right?
Yeah, and it was a while ago. If we were gonna do anything, it would have been like drafting Aaron Rodgers in 05 and us seeing him.
You telling me no one's looking up to Jay Fiedler and John Beck and
AJ Feely,
bro?
Nah, bro, none of that down here.
Trent Green for a cup of coffee before he got knocked into the stratosphere. Everyone forgets on Trent Green, eh?
I like Trent. I remember Trent, man.
Bro, I had high hopes for him before he got hurt because he's actually he was good with Kansas City before the concussion started piling up.
Kansas City, Washington, St. Louis. Like Trent was always good wherever he went. The only thing was his issues was injuries, So that's just tough.
Concussions, bro. Damn. Hammer donates $2. Says 21 days. I can't wait. Fins up. Jabari asked, who do you got in the finals, bro? I wanted a Trey Young Booker finals. I'm going for. I want Devin Booker, and I've always been a huge CP3 fan, so I want him to get it. But you know what? I wouldn't even care if Giannis got it. I respect Giannis's game, so
yeah.
But I want the Suns to win. To be honest with you.
Me too.
Those jerseys are fire too, bro.
I love seeing it, man. And people hate on the CP3 for some reason, man.
Suns in 4. Bam.
I like CP3 since the New Orleans Hornets, bro. I remember when the Heat was making their playoff run. I was like, damn, bro, the Heat might have to play New Orleans in the finals, but it does. Things happen. They didn't make it, but CP3's always been like a legit, like just a pro, bro.
So, and you remember when he went to the Clippers?
I remember he played for them, but I can't remember what he did with them, bro.
Bro, okay. So you remember back in the day, 2K? I think Iverson was on the cover when he went to the Clippers. Bro, I remember, bro. I tried to sign him. Like I played with the Clippers and to try to re-sign him. And I offered him like max contract. He wouldn't resign, and he like re-signed with some jabroni team. So I kept like backing out and reloading it, trying to re-sign him, and he just wouldn't sign with me. So I like never picked up the game again, bro. Like I love CP3, man. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Tariq says he donates 5 and he says that's what's up reason. Let's go Suns. Yeah.
People, almost everybody wants the Suns to win, man. You know, they just want to see it happen, just because they haven't won one like ever. I don't think.
Just like who I was a huge fan of back in the day. What was his name? He played for the Golden State Warriors. Back when they had the black jerseys with the yellow Warriors and they had the font with like the orange or red behind it.
You mean like Baron Davis or
Baron Davis? Bam.
Yeah,
love
the beard.
Me some Baron Davis, bro.
He was a street baller too.
Yo, bro, he was a classic beast, bro.
Yeah.
He never won one. They would always get knocked out in like the second round, bro. Baron was a stud though, bro.
The West was very difficult to get out of, to be honest. It really was. You know, that's why I was kind of surprised when like the Pistons with Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, the Wallace brothers, that was difficult to watch, man. Like those guys used to go head up with the West. I'm like, I always got nervous because the West was so hard to beat, man.
So I'm a Raptors fan, bro. But I actually grew up before we had our team. I was a Bulls fan. Michael Jordan to me is the greatest singular individual athlete of any sport I've seen, bro.
Damn.
Like, no one dominated the way he would have won 8 in a row if he didn't go play baseball, bro. I truly believe he could have beat that Rockets team, no problem, man. I love Michael Jordan is like arguably my favorite athlete next to Dan Marino and Mario Lemieux. And so, the Raptors are my favorite team, but I always have like a special spot for the Bulls because of that. Like when Derrick Rose got hurt, bro, my heart broke for that team. But, like I got to see my championship with Kawhi. I wish Kawhi just would have stayed, bro. I feel like that would have been good for Pascal Siakam. Everything wouldn't have went on his shoulders, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Like
Kawhi went Hollywood, bro. That's why Popovich said, "All right, bye." I think so.
So, I mean, it sucks, but we got our chip out of it, right? So
yeah.
And what a dramatic run that was, bro. And I don't give a shit if Steph was hurt and Clay was hurt, bro. Dude, when we beat the Sixers on that shot from the corner, bro. My God. Bro,
party time. Yeah.
Oh, bro, it was wild, bro. And yeah, exactly. Mr. CW Brown, Damon Stoudemire, Mighty Mouse, bro. Bro, I remember when they were playing the Sky Dome when they started, dude. A lot of people forget that. So, but yeah, like I grew up. That's how I grew up. A massive Michael. I was just in awe. But you know who? Like, okay, so Michael Jordan was like the best I ever saw. And my favorite, but my second favorite player growing up was Penny Hardaway. I loved me some Penny, bro. And I loved the Magic because of Penny. Right, again, I didn't have a team because Toronto didn't have a team, right?
At the time,
and bro, that Shaq, they got dominated by the Rockets, bro.
Yeah. So, Hakeem was damn near unstoppable those back-to-back seasons, man. So.
Yeah, bro. And Shaq when Shaq would, before he blossomed into the beast he was with LA. But remember, I love them even more when they got my boy Horace Grant with the goggles. You know what I mean? So
you forget about Horace too, bro.
Can't forget about Horace, bro. Horace is the man, bro. So yeah, I like and those Magic jerseys back then. And you remember the little Penny?
Oh yeah, the talking like voodoo doll.
yeah, the little talking Penny doll, bro. Just like honestly, again, another favorite team that I loved watching. I loved watching Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. I love watching the Supersonics, bro.
Yeah.
I thought they were. I loved that era, man. And yeah, Nick Anderson missed those free throws. I lost my mind, bro.
That was rough. That was rough for him. He never recovered after that, to be honest.
Yeah, it killed me, bro. Jason says, name your top 5 players all time real quick. How can you do that real quick, bro?
Yeah, I know there's too many.
Okay, like for my watch, like I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like Will Chamberlain and Bill Russell because I never watched them. Okay, top 5 I've ever watched. Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone forgets Michael won Defensive Player of the Year awards. It pisses me off, bro.
He
Everyone
wasn't just
forgets.
the offensive
Yeah, I know.
juggernaut. He
Everyone
actually
forgets
locked
that.
stuff down. Yeah.
Everyone forgets it. So I'll go Michael. I'll go LeBron. I'll go Kobe. Man, I can't name him, but one of the best pure scorers I ever saw was Tracy McGrady. And I was so mad when he left Toronto, bro. I was so mad. Just like I loved Vince. I can't name Vince. Man, 4 and 5 is like now we're getting into it, eh? Like in our era, do we have to put Steph Curry in there?
I think so. I think Steph earned it. Like,
so I would go. Then I'd go Shaq, and then I'd go Steph.
Okay,
but then I look at D Wade, one of the best sporting efforts I've ever seen in my life was that championship D Wade won, where Shaq was clearly a shell of his old self, and D Wade had that flu and just went off, bro. Like I remember that, like just like yesterday, being like that. That was like
it was magical. Yeah,
it was mad. Like Dwayne Wade, like earned my respect forever. That was one of the best individual efforts I've ever seen in a playoff run of any sport.
And in championship moments too. You know what I mean? Like when it's do or die, make it happen or nothing comes of this. Yeah, D Wade flipped the switch.
I didn't like Magic. Remember, I'm an 85 baby. So when I started paying attention, Magic was like on his way out.
True. In right? like 91, like, 92.
Yeah. Like I was 6'7". You know what I mean? Like Larry Bird. I didn't watch Larry Bird. Talking about guys I watched. Like I'm not talking about, if we're talking about guys I didn't watch, then Bill Russell has to be on that list, and so does Wilt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
Abdul Jabbar.
Yeah. Do you remember Sharif Abdul-Rahim for Vancouver Grizzlies?
I heard about him, man. He was good.
Big Country Bryant Reeves. You remember that guy?
I can't remember Brian Reeves. No,
he had the white guy. He's like from like Oklahoma or whatever. He had the flat top.
I gotta see that, bro.
Oh, bro, look at him up. But people like, I'm just naming guys I watched, bro. Like, I can't sit here and say I didn't watch Bill Russell and all those guys. So you know what I mean? Like, if we were going by like off that, then Magic and Bird would probably be in my top 5. But I didn't watch them. You know what I mean? I've seen highlights. That's a good point.
Tim Duncan over Curry. Yep.
That's a good point. But the thing is, I hate Tim Duncan.
He was too quiet for you.
Shout out to EM. No, bro. It was just. I can't believe we're talking basketball for the first 20 minutes, but here we are. It was just my problem with Tim Duncan was so freaking boring, bro. Like he's just so Mr. Fundamentals, bro. Like it was just like
he was so automatic, it was boring.
But I put Steph up there because Steph is arguably the best shooter.
Lights out, yeah. He's the greatest lights out shooter of all time. Like it's not even close. I mean?
It's ridiculous.
He pulls up from anywhere beyond the arc, and it's wet. It's wet, not just backboard or off the rim. It's wet. So, Curry's different.
Tim Duncan is definitely, if we're going off like Tim Duncan is top 5, top 10 all time. I wouldn't even argue.
Domination.
Someone had it. You know what I mean? Like,
and people might hate me, bro, but I used to love watching that Spurs team, bro. You talk about a machine. Oof.
I never got over. Parker cheating on even Lagoria. I'm like, what are you doing with your life, bro? Like, what are you? Leave it up to a French guy, eh? Like, seriously, bro. You got the best of both worlds. You got a championship team on the court. You're going home to championship Punani, and you're out here doing that, bro. What are you on, dude? Like I hated Tony Parker. I loved Manny
Ginobili.
Ginobili's arguably the best sixth man I've ever seen. That guy is lights out.
That's a strong statement too, man, because there's been a lot of six mans that have been crazy,
Andre Ginobili, recent memory, I guess too.
I guess you can say that with Golden State, but I don't know, man. Ginobili was so dangerous coming off the bench, bro. Like
Yeah,
damn near unstoppable. You know what I mean?
yeah. People are going, Jerry West. Bro, you think I watch Jerry West? How old do you think I am, bro? God damn.
Reggie Miller.
Reggie was his feuds with what's his face? The director who always at the Knicks games.
The director for the
Spike Lee. Spike
yeah, I was about
Lee.
to say Spike.
Like
Yeah,
those were crazy, man.
yeah, those were definitely personal. If I were to judge it from the outside looking in, that definitely personal.
Classic. Fake Spike, where do you rank Ray Allen? Ray was a great clutch, one of the best clutch shooters I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like,
and I loved him, man. He got game. Ray Allen was the man, bro. Jesus showed his worth.
He was a
All
beast,
day.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the answer. Ooh, forgot about him. Allen Iverson.
Iverson.
That's true.
I loved him. My problem was he's such a bog. This guy's shooting like 40 times a game. I'm like,
but Iverson's from Hampton though. So I mean, if you're the best player in Hampton, you literally the offense, the entire team goes through you. Period. Like they're not trying to be outdoing another guy that they know is clearly better than him. They said, all right, AI, do you, and he got used to that, man. He got used to being the answer. So I mean, I don't know if I'll call him just straight ball hog, but it made the most sense to keep the ball in his hand, you know.
yeah, bro. Yo, he's a beast though.
Absolutely.
He's one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen.
Him and Kyrie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kyrie too. I don't like Kyrie though as a person, bro.
Something's off, man.
Like Iverson, I respected so much because he was real, bro. What you saw was what you got, bro.
Real for real.
And that's it. Mr. CW Brown's right. His second best player was like Aaron McKee. I remember that, bro. Yeah. Joe said Grant Hill if he never got injured. Yo, I don't know if y'all remember, but I still have, I think. Y'all remember those like those like turquoise, aqua, green Pistons jerseys that said like Pistons across them and it had like the horse with the fire hair on it? Do you remember that jersey? You remember that one? I used to have a Grant Hill jersey. Grant Hill was the man, bro. He said, Derrick Rose, if he never got hurt, bro, we'd probably be talking about Derrick Rose, bro.
Derrick Rose, his first couple seasons in the NBA, he was climbing that ladder, bro. Like legit, not just dunking, but just overall, who's the best player in the NBA?
Yeah.
Like Derrick Rose was head and shoulders, bro. Like just one of the most dominant players on the court, bro.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Scary good. Scary good.
So good, bro. All right, so honestly, one of my best memories as a kid, dude, dog. That step back against the Utah Jazz, the push off and the step back.
Oh yeah.
In Game 6, bro. Oh, bro, only Jordan could get away with the push off, eh? It was freaking amazing, bro.
If you were the ref, would you blow that whistle?
Nah,
after it was wet,
bro. Like, oh my god, like is there an athlete that in any sport that you want handling
the last shot,
last moment of the game?
Can I say one thing about Jordan too, if you don't mind? Michael Jordan,
doesn't Brian Russell still like bitch about that push off too? I'm pretty sure. Anyways, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, Michael Jordan, right? He was always talented, but he also worked hard. Like he really was obsessive about training. Did he get cut
from his like high school team, bro?
He didn't make the varsity his sophomore year in high school, and he was crying, and he thought he should have, and he was about to quit, and his mom said, "Look,
bro, the story
you're
taking
good.
Him out there shooting free throws, like having to hit a certain amount before you can even go inside."
Yep. Like legit. Michael Jordan not only was super talented, but he worked super hard. I think me personally, what took Michael over the top as in one of the greatest clutch performers of all time was he had a gambling habit, right? You
Yeah,
know, it is what it is, you know, frowned
bro.
upon or what have you. But when you put money on yourself, when you put 10, 15
Pete Rose,
stacks,
Pete Rose.
right, with the
Yeah,
Reds, look,
yeah.
I'm just saying when you put money on yourself and you know you have the ability, you know you've worked hard enough, and you know you can get it done, that intensifies getting it done even more, bro. I would think so. I just think Michael Jordan was one of the most insanely competitive athletes we've ever seen. And that's
Oh,
why he was
bro,
so dominant on the court, bro.
dude, I heard a story from Gary Payton. Gary
Mm-hmm.
Payton was saying because I guess they all get together for the All-Star games or whatever. This is like
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 years ago. I heard this story. They got together for for the All-Star game, and what they would do is they would have like basically it's an illegal gambling ring, but they would all get together and have like poker tables and blackjack tables and stuff like that, and they'd all play them, all the legends and all the like Antoine Walker went broke betting with Michael Jordan, right?
Oh wow.
You remember Antoine Walker when he signed like the richest contract in NBA history, and then he
Yeah,
blew through all
yeah.
the money? It's because he's hanging out with Michael Jordan. Like that's a literal fact. You can look it up. Anyways,
That's wild, bro.
bro, Gary Payton saying they're sitting at the it's like blackjack or whatever. It's sitting at the table, and in walks Michael Jordan, and he's got a he's got a golf bag, right? Because he
Mm-hmm.
golfs all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he comes in and he puts his money down or whatever. He cashes in for chips, busts out like 2 minutes later, right? Pulls over the golf bag, bro. Gary Payton said he reaches in there and pulled out bricks of money and slammed them on the table and said, "Cash me in, bro." Dude, like gambling problem, legit. Like I know the rumors have always been there about his dad, right?
Yeah, yep.
But like from everything that I've like heard or whatever about it, like just by watching documentaries and stuff, apparently it's just like a random hit. But
Damn.
craziness. That guy was, bro, the balls to put 15, 20,000. Well, then again, how much money he was making, it didn't really matter, right?
Right. It's like it's the epitome of betting on yourself, like for real. And he used to come through like every time, bro. It was weird, man. Like as far as his competitiveness,
Bro,
it was borderline insane.
do you know in 2019 he earned $34,246 an hour?
How is that possible?
Dude, I looked up that stat like 2 days ago because my wife was talking about it.
How is that possible?
That's ridiculous, bro.
Mm.
That is ridiculous. All right, so let's get into football.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with Tom Pelissero and his and the tweet that he put out. Tom Pelissero said, "No NFL players are believed to have opted out." I just saw that comment to have opted out of the 2021 season per source. The deadline to inform clubs was Friday, and no such transactions were submitted for today's personnel notice after the holiday weekend. Look at this. Deshaun didn't. Oh man. So yeah, so no players have opted out this year. Not really a surprise because we
Mm-hmm.
saw how smoothly everything went last year for everyone. So that's not that's not really a surprise to me. I don't know if it is to you, but I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expecting anyone to opt out.
I think back to back opt outs mean you're retiring more than likely.
Oh, for sure. Checking out. If you had to pick Winston or Hurts to run your offense, who are you picking? I'll take EM Dolphin fan for 500. Pass on both. Who's my backup? Taysom
Oh man.
Junior donates $4.99. He says, "I still haven't forgotten Ray Allen. Still haven't forgiven Ray Allen for hitting that corner three against my Spurs. Any player you guys haven't forgiven yet? That was one of the best finals."
Mm.
I haven't forgiven Vince Carter for what he did to us because that was all about his. That literally started that falling out started over us taking away his mother's parking spot. Eh?
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then he got mad about the Chris Bosh pick that he wasn't allowed. You know, he wasn't in on that. So, you know, you want to talk about one of the worst picks in NBA history? Do y'all remember when we picked Rafael Arugio?
I can't remember that. What year was that? That was before or after Chris Bosh?
That was 2004. We picked him in the first round, number 8 overall.
1 year after Chris Bosh. Okay.
Yeah, he was brutal, bro. He was so bad. Remember, like Andrea Bargnani?
I think so. If I see him, I know him.
Mm-hmm. That one hurt. All right. So continuing on here. Because Wade was in the same draft as Bosh, right?
Yeah, Wade, LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Bosh.
Vince wanted us to take Dwayne Wade, and we took Bosh. All right. So yesterday we looked at NFL.com ranking all, predicting the MVP for each team in the 2021 season. If y'all remember, they said that they predicted Xavien Howard to be the team's MVP. Well, CBS.com went a little off the board, and brother, they selected Jaylen Waddle.
Wow.
And they said it's admittedly a tall task for a rookie wide receiver to come in and immediately be an X factor within an offense. But Waddle, the number 6 pick at the 2021 draft, will likely be a key figure out of the gate. Really, this has to do with the development of Tua Tagovailoa, who played with Waddle at Alabama. Instead of looking at the quarterback position at the 2021 draft following a rookie season by Tagovailoa that left much to be desired, the Dolphins elected to double down with him by adding weapons. If Waddle can come in, stretch the field, and rekindle that chemistry he had with Tagovailoa at Alabama, that in theory should help the young quarterback make positive strides in year 2, making the receiver extremely vital heading into this year. What do you think of that one, bro?
That's an incredibly bold comment and statement to put that type of, expectation on a rookie. Now, mind you, rookies have come in and made an immediate impact to where you can say.
But Justin Jefferson is like an anomaly. That doesn't happen a lot, right?
Well. But even Odell Beckham, like Odell Beckham in 2014, he missed like the first 2, 3, 4 games of the season from hamstring injuries. But when he came in, he was by far in my opinion, the best player on the field for the New York Giants. And eventually it turned into, oh snap, Odell Beckham is probably one of the better wide receivers in the league, but in Waddle's case, it'll be challenging, but I see why they would want to put Waddle in that sphere. If he becomes the favorite target, right, for Tua, who's in desperation of not desperation, but he wants to confirm what we all assume he's going to do, which is take that leap. He's going to go to the guy that's hot, and Waddle, from the sounds of things, which was nothing throughout the entire OTAs, which is a positive that we didn't hear anything about Waddle, meaning he's doing everything right. If Waddle is that main guy, hey, for all we know, he's about to get 110 targets this year. You know what I mean? With a couple of kick returns to add to that, and a couple punt returns to add to that. And for all we know, that can cumulate into 10 to 15 touchdowns, total. So I'm just saying it'll be interesting to see what really pans out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Waddle is that dude, moving forward as far as immediate impact.
Yeah, I think obviously the chemistry's there, the familiarity, the comfortability. I kind of dragged a Bengals fan because he said Dolphin fans are insane, for thinking Waddle's better than Chase. Well, guess what? He is better than Chase.
Wow.
I got into it with Sam Monsoon of PFF, and I kind of let him have it a couple months ago, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, because he said literally the only thing that Waddle does better than Chase is he's faster. And I'm like, do you guys not watch film? Like he's a more nuanced route runner. He stems and stacks better. He's better in the open field. He's a bigger yak monster. Yeah, and he has 4.2 speed. When you add all those 5 things, I've had people up here. I've had scouts and evaluators up here on this channel. People that I talked to privately that have all told me they had Waddle ranked higher. I had Waddle ranked higher than Chase. Then you get these videos coming out with like the Jaguars. You get what comes out with Ian Rappaport saying that we had Waddle as our number 2 player on our board behind only Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The Jaguars gave Lawrence and Waddle the same freaking grade, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so the NFL evaluators out here, what are they insane compared to some Bengals fan on Twitter that doesn't watch film? Give me a break.
Nah, man. Nah, Waddle was head and shoulders better than what's the guy's name with LSU? Jamar Chase. I think he was just better than him all around when it comes to what a quarterback wants out of his wide receivers. If he didn't get hurt,
he could have won the Heisman, bro.
He would have been in the running, most definitely. If not Biletnikoff Award, most definitely. But again, who wants a guy that can just win 50-50 balls? Nah, we already have that. We need guys that are separation kings.
6'1"ish. You know what I mean? He's not even like 6'3", 6'4", bro.
The only argument is purely off of just physical prowess. Jamar Chase is a big person. He's 6'1", 210, 215.
Here's my thing. His strength is overrated because I've shown examples up here of him having problems with corners jamming him at the line and getting off his release. That's what I'm sitting here saying. Plus, he was 19 years old. He was in a scheme that predicated on, people forget the offensive coordinator, right? Former wide receiver himself, came from the Saints. You look at the Saints. Why is Michael? Look at you. I know you watched a ton of Drew Brees. Okay, Drew Brees in that scheme in New Orleans is predicated off scheming these guys to be open.
Yes.
They're not having to manufacture the space and the separation themselves.
Yes.
It's schemed that way.
Like rub routes and
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you bring in that system into college, all right, and where mostly people are playing like quarters and stuff like that. You bring that in there, and obviously there's gonna be a ton of space. And here's my thing: 19 years old, decided to opt out, didn't want to come back, didn't want to polish all the stuff he needed to do. Because, bro, you'll know this. It's one thing to go and work on your route running on the training ground. It's another thing to apply it in game.
Yes.
Okay. That's my thing here. You know what I mean? And I've talked about Joe Brady a ton of times. Like, people don't get how, this is a former receiver himself, man. Like, this guy schemes receivers open for a living. Look at how big Curtis Samuel ate last year in Carolina when Joe Brady arrived.
Yeah.
You know what I'm sitting here saying? Like, so I don't, you know what? I'm not going to say he's going to bust out, but I'm going to say I think Jamar Chase has a chance of being very underwhelming for the hype he had, bro. And I'm not even just saying that. I actually truly believe that. And then when you see him get drafted, he's wearing his glasses like he's Deion Sanders, and he comes, and I don't even care about that. Then he comes out on the stage, and this is what I didn't like. Oh, I'm gonna break all the records and da 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 da. Like, bro, shut up, bro. How did it work for Josh Rosen when he came out and said, "Oh, Tom Brady for me"? You know what I mean? Like, and Waddle just comes out here looking fly as fuck, showing off the grills, ain't saying nothing, comes and gets to work. And you know what's crazy, bro? For those of you who are always scouring Twitter, who are always on Twitter, we haven't heard much of Jamar Chase at a Bengals camp.
As far as, is he going to be the guy?
Well, as far as him beast moding, any of that stuff where we've heard Waddle and Tua have amazing chemistry, Waddle having long receptions, showing off his speed. Jamar Chase hasn't made a lot of noise out of Cincinnati, or we would have heard about it.
I think it's fair to say too that when we drafted Waddle, he immediately became our number 1 receiver, in my opinion. when Jamar Chase was drafted, he probably became maybe 2B because Tyler Boyd ain't no joke. Let me just throw that out there. And if people were watching the Bengals game last year closely, Tyler Boyd and Xavien Howard were going after each other because real recognized real. He respected Tyler Boyd, bro.
Yeah.
Xavien Howard never is out of character like that. Tyler
Yeah.
Boyd was out there, bro. So I'm just saying,
T. Higgins is a beast too.
I love. That's why I said 2B. For Jamar Chase, because T Higgins has to be number 2. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying it's gonna be interesting to see how they use that 3 wide receiver set in Cincinnati.
Because
But
they run the most 3 wide receiver sets of any team in the NFL.
yeah. But I don't know who's gonna officially take over that wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. I still like Tyler Boyd just because he's just a veteran. And T. Higgins, I just seen enough to say he has to be number 2. But if Jamar Chase can, steal some reps, steal some catches, then we'll see what happens. But I don't know. Better
What's
receivers,
crazy? If you watch him at LSU, even with that big year, there was a lot of similar plays where he would get the ball just beyond the sticks like Waddle, but Waddle would make guys miss and take it for some serious yak. Jamar Chase getting shut down. Jamar Chase was only getting yak when he was in open space. If there were guys around him, he was getting tackled.
Yeah, there's no reason to argue the Bengals fan, man. If they watch film like how you watch film, there wouldn't be much of, oh, this is that. Nah, they'll know the truth just based off the film that was displayed both years when they were playing. Like Jaylen Waddle is just a better wide receiver. He's a better pro transition, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So
because that speed, you motion him, he can have no problem releasing.
I'm just saying, yeah. And he's pretty twitchy, you know what I mean? So
yeah, very twitchy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Bleacher Report, they put out an article and I believe it's what's today, the 6th. So
yes,
it was just yesterday, and it was talking about one move every team in the NFL should make. So I guess we're gonna talk about them again. It's a daily occurrence, but hey, why not? They said rework Xavien Howard's current deal is the move we should make. It said Xavien Howard isn't happy. He wants a rework contract reflective of his level of play. Howard led the league with 10 interceptions last season, became a first-team All-Pro. The cornerback has also earned 2 Pro Bowl nominations, but he's making less than Miami Dolphins teammate Byron Jones. The latter has a $16.1 million salary cap hit this fall, which ranks second behind the New England Patriots' Stephon Gilmore with 14 in actual cash spent. In comparison, Howard's numbers are 13.5 and 12.1 million, respectively. As a result of his displeasure, Howard didn't attend Miami's mandatory minicamp this month. The Dolphins made a concerted effort, to invest in the cornerback position. Howard feels he's deserving of the best deal based on his play. A slight adjustment to Howard's current contract shouldn't be a major issue to make the cornerback happy, even though the Dolphins only have $5.6 million in salary cap space. So it's not trade for a running back. It's not adding a defensive player. It's re-upping the best player on the team.
Keeping Xavien.
And I don't know if you saw the show yesterday, but I showed what Barry Jackson said that, a source close to Xavien Howard is saying that he could ask for a trade, and another source close to him is saying he's going to hold out, but if they don't pay, he could very well change his mind. What do you think they do here? Do you think they call his bluff, or do you think they sign him?
It's tough to say right now. I think by the time we get closer, like I want to say like maybe a week to 3 or 4 days from the beginning of training camp, we're going to have much more of a clarity of what's going to happen. I believe. And I don't know, man. I need Xavien Howard on this defense only because I see the schedule. I see who we have to play. I see the offenses that we're going to have to play early, in the middle of the season, late in the season. bro, we need Xavien, man. And obviously it is what it is as far as his contract issues and him wanting to be paid more. If that's the case, man, and you have to bite some type of bullet, as far as overpaying, or I will say do it, just because we need stellar defensive efforts against these type of offenses that we're going to be going up against throughout the entire season. And Xavier Howard just elevates every single piece of that defense. And obviously the acquisitions of Jalen Phillips and Javon Holland will benefit the most when you have a guy that can cover that long, for Phillips to put more pressure and for Javon Holland to just jump routes. We need to have Xavien on the team. And it'll be tough to see him go, because he's meant more to, not only just because he's a great defensive player, but he's overcome a lot.
Yeah.
He's been through a lot of ups and downs throughout his tenure with the Miami Dolphins. And I just want to see the story continue with him making a deep run into the playoffs with us. I want to see that. But the business, man, the business is as cutthroat as any other business. And if it comes down to it, bro, I would prefer them to pay him. But it seems more and more every day that the world turns, bro. It's almost like we're destined to trade this guy, and that'll be tough to see.
I asked yesterday. I gave it 24 hours. I put up a poll on Twitter. I said, if you were Chris Greer, what would be the highest priority to you? I got 1,006 votes. 62.5% of those votes said reworking Xavien's deal. 19.9% said extending Gasecki, and 17.6% said extending Ogba. So I know a lot of people are pushing back on Xavien Howard right now, but I mean, on a poll of 1,000, that's over, 625 people that said, rework Xavien's deal. So I want to see him. I've said this before and I've got pushback in the comments, et cetera, et cetera. I truly, if you believe this team's going to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years, I think Xavien Howard has to be a part of the team, bro.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I just don't think it's happening, dude. So I think with the way this team is built right now, the the defense is the identity of the team, and the secondary is the heart and soul of that defense.
Wow.
So I don't know if you can split that up, bro. I really don't.
Why, Xavier? Why now? Why now, man? Why now?
I don't know. I hope it can work out, man. I really do. All right. Continuing on. We went ahead yesterday and we talked about NFL.com ranking all 32 teams. We showed you how CBS ranked. Sorry, particularly MVP would be. Well, the NFL has another article. NFL.com has another article. I think everyone will be interested. Maurice Jones-Drew, former Jaguars running back and one of the more underrated guys in the last 20 years, he ranked all 32 running back ones heading in to the 2021 season, and he had Derek. What's good?
No, I'm just thinking about where Myles Gaskin is gonna be, bro.
Yeah, Derrick Henry was at 1. Christian McCaffrey was at 2. Alvin Kamara was at 3. Dalvin Cook was at 4. My boy Nick Chubb was at 5. Ezekiel Elliott was at 7, etc., etc. Well, the Miami Dolphins and Myles Gaskin, ain't no love in the heart of the city. And Myles Gaskin landed number 32 on this list. It says Gaskin was a solid back for the Dolphins last season, averaging 4.1 yards per attempt on 142 carries, but I need to see more. He has a real opportunity to be the bell cow and help Tua Tagovailoa in his first season as a full-time starter. Miami's run game must be better than the 22nd ranked outfit it was a year ago. It starts with Gaskin, but that could change quickly if he can't handle the load. So they ranked our running back 32nd
out of 32 starters.
Wow.
Dead last. Dead last. And I'm not surprised. You know, we there was a reason why we wanted to draft Najee and Devontae Williams, and when we saw our guy falling, Gainwell, we were holding our breath until it came through that Philly was going to take him. There was a reason why we wanted to take a running back, and this is pretty much the reason. People just don't have the same belief in our running back one as our coaches do. And
well, how much belief do they have when they put in a waiver claim for Kerryon Johnson too?
That too, right? So I'm just saying, man, if there's anyone who has to prove anybody wrong, is this guy ranked 32 out of 32 running backs, bro? Myles Gaskin, and don't get it twisted. Myles Gaskin is he is one of the more efficient football players in the league. Period. Forget
especially
about
with all-purpose yards. Yeah, all-purpose.
He almost every single play. I don't believe he misses one assignment, and then on top of that, he's always looking to go north and south. He barely dances. So, like when I say this guy, he has everything in place to kind of shut people up. But A, he has to stay healthy. B, when he gets his opportunities, he has to make beyond the most of them. And he made plays last year. Clearly, made a lot of big time plays for us last year. But at the same time, man, is he a running back one? MGD says, Nate, 32. Yep. 32 out of 32.
Ouch.
Yes.
And this is coming from the guy last year who, when no one believed in Myles Gaskin, I was telling I was telling everyone he's going to be the one that kicks Kalen Ballage out of town onto that Greyhound. And, I was the one calling he was going to be our running back one by the end of it. And, look at here we are sitting here, and he's our running back one heading into 2021. I just feel like he's the perfect complementary back. You know what I mean? Like
I believe so.
I said what I said last year based on the talent we had in the room, not on me thinking, oh, this guy's gonna, go out there and absolutely, wreck the league, So I think if you find the thunder to his lightning, you're gonna be in a good situation, to be honest with you.
I think so. Yeah, and you hitting it on the head, bro. Like, I don't like him as the feature back. He doesn't remind me of like you remember when Brian Westbrook was kind of used as like a gadget back almost in Philadelphia when they had like Deuce McAllister Deuce Staley and Correll Buckholter. Like, yep. Brian Westbrook took over, as a lead back. You know what I mean? He reminds me of a Brian Westbrook, but I just don't believe he has that type of talent. Like Brian Westbrook was extremely talented in a lot of things that propelled him into a legitimate like starting running back in the NFL. But I don't see too much of that as far as the uber talent of what he has as far as his ability comparable to his size, almost like a Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles was super small, but he was super explosive. You know what I mean? I don't see that from Gaskin, but Gaskin is like how you're saying, a solid number 2 guy that you want on the field, but not as your number 1. And he's our number 1. So we're just trying to deal with that right now, man.
Yeah, I just the Brian Westbrook, that's a decent comparison. Do you think he'll ever be able to handle the load like Westbrook did? Because even Westbrook, his body broke down after a while too from handling that load because of how he's built.
Yeah, about 2.5, 3 seasons where he was just solid. And then obviously the league caught up to him, and he kind of, like you said, broke down and just got out of the starting lineup eventually. Um, Miles Gaskin, his health is his wealth as far as his body holding up for what is a 17 game season now. And being 5'8", 185 pounds, it doesn't help as much as if you were a Brian Westbrook that was like 5'8", 5'9", 195, 200 pounds. Like that extra coat of armor, as far as the extra girth and the extra impact muscles is necessary, when you talk about being a feature back. And Miles Gaskin, bro, like how we keep saying, and we're going to reiterate it, he is a definitive star number 2 running back. But because we don't have a number 1 yet, he has to be that number 1 for us, bro. So we got to see how he pans out, man.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, we're going to get into the top 5 breakout candidates I've named for this season. But before we do, if you'd like to donate to the channel, you can use the super chat. You can also donate to the channel through PayPal, paypal.me/Phinside. You can also hit that join button below me right next to subscribe to become a member of the channel. That'll give you the emojis and the badges next to your name, and that'll also allow you to get exclusive content like the Raekwon Davis film study and the Xavien Howard film study that I have coming up. You can become a Phinside the NFL Patreon, patreon.com/Phinside the NFL. As always, I want to shout out my Patreons and my members. For the Patreons, Rhino Sith Fake Spike, KL Day, Ramon Casillas, who upped his donation to $40 a month. Appreciate you, homie. Seth, Slim Pickens, Ricketic, Red Dino, Marino's Goat, Keith Davis, your boy Trev, Josh, Jazz803, the homie Martin, Zo Vegas, the Arkham Elf, Irving, Drew Boo, the show, Jawar Thompson, Jeff Jackson, Andre Villarreal, J Love T, Todd Labruto, the Enigmatic Man, Chalk Vanilla Straw, Georgie Boy 23, Florida Born, Kentucky Grown, Michael Rodriguez, Dennis Klassen, Philip Leduc, Tommy Flores, Marino Ron, Anthony J. Marine, Brent Podvin, Joe Crotwell, Rhonda Cousins, and the newest is Homestar My 6. Appreciate you. I just modded you for tonight's show, man. And from here on out, as long as you're a Patreon, remember, if you want to become if you not only want exclusive content, but you also want to be a mod of the channel, then the Patreon is the way to go. And shout out to each and every one of the members of the channel: Damien Dees, MF Fins 1, Seth, Drew Boo, Twizzle, Law 10442, Timothy, Yawa Bulla, Bruce, Fox and Around, Dr. Draft, Timothy Saponenza, Nico, Mighty Dolphin, Dolphin Sweden, Fake Spike 94, Jazzy 803, Luke Sparkman, D Ray 91, Tilly, Flips, Marcus 84, Franks, Ty Rhodes, Florida born, Kentucky grown, SC 42, Corn 72, Cody Patron, The Show, Jonesy Fins Nation, Kevin Williams, Rhonda, Philip Leduc, Zachary Harris, Dennis Klassen, Powerhouse TJ, Thundercleus, Birdman, 100 Ante, Ramon Casillas, Marino's Goat, Michael Simmons, Ron Levy, Chad Marcion, Tony Marine, BK2 Day, Barry Bailey, DC, Tyler Collins, Richmond Webb, Cap for Life, Furious, KL Day, Goat of Loa, Bleezy, Rhino Sith, Irving, Justo, Julian, Scorpion King 271, Fins for Life, Chef, Ty Jenkins, Robert Martin, Tony Usawa, Way01, Innes Campbell, Mari, Fred Rivera, Justin Dunker, Cash, Zanny, Jinzo, your boy Trev, Caddyshack, Fins Forever, Storm Warrior, Jeremiah Kelly, D Hug All Day, Ricketic, Tukalosa Sosa, Daryl Canop, Big Time, Wayne Hedgeman, Soa Pau, Quint Riddle, Jose Valdez, Takumezi, Takumakia. Appreciate you. Harriet Clements, Canadian Fins Gone Wild, and the latest is Franklin Lejeune. Appreciate you for joining and becoming a Finside the NFL channel member. All right. Also, before I forget, guys, patchvibes.com. Use code Phinside to save 20% off your order, and you can get shirts like this one, the brand new Tua Tagovailoa shirt that they've dropped. Fire. If you guys remember from the early 90s, they had the team dropped a Dan Marino one similar to this. Well, they've updated it, and Tua to Miami, the shirt's fire, man. You know I'll be rocking it this season.
That's
Can't
hard.
wait. Shout out to Patch Vibes. Use that code. You can save 20% off your entire order, man. So shout out to Patch Vibes for showing love, always supporting the channel. But, you know, they got other stuff too, right? They don't just have that kind of jazz. They got legit patches. They got all that kind of stuff. You know, you got the Tua patch, right? Fire. You can put it on whatever. They got other stuff too. You can't forget the Shula patches from last year. They got the regular one and they got the throwback one too. So you got the Shula patches too. So go show some love. 20% off. Use code Phinside. Patchvibes.com. They got great stuff over there. So you already know what time it is. All right. And I will be announcing, guys, a fantasy league. I run a $25 league and a free league. I'll be announcing that in the next coming weeks because we'll be drafting sometime in August. That'll be on a first come, first serve basis. So when I announce that, be sure, if you want to be involved, to email me right away. Also, please help support Russell Voris during this hard time through Cash App. He is GoFundMe has been shut down because the mother of his son, the baby mama, her family got involved and stepped in with GoFundMe. I guess they're trying to get their greedy hands on that money. Also, the fees that GoFundMe was hitting them with. So if you guys want to support him, there is how you can support him through Cash App. So appreciate you, Russell. Hope you're doing well, man.
For real, man.
Nothing but love. But again, just
good
because
energy, man.
Yeah, man. Just because I love this shirt so much, guys. Patchvibes.com, baby. 20% off. Go get that Tua shirt.
That shirt is hard, bro.
Tua shirt's hard. So go cop that, people. You already know what time it is. All right. Let's keep it rolling. Let's get into, and then after this, we'll open it up to all you guys and allow you to come on and give your thoughts and opinions on everything. All right. So we're going to do the top 5 potential breakout candidates for the 2021 Miami Dolphins. But here's the one rule. Okay. No rookies. Rookies too easy. I mean, I could have all these people out here. So we're going to go not rookies. We're going to look at least returning players. You know what I mean? So number 5. Noah Igbenogany. And the reason why I have Noah Igbenogany on this list, because it was really between him and Len Bowden, because I think Len Bowden's going to have a huge season, is because of the opportunity that he might get with X potentially sitting out. And I mean, for Noah Igbenogany, the only way up is here. You know, last year he had 188 coverage snaps, 98 snaps in run defense. He totaled about 286 snaps. Tackling, he had 9 tackles, 4 assists, and 4 misses. So that's not good when you look at the amount of numbers he was allowed to tackle. When you talk about his coverage numbers, now he was targeted 28 times. He allowed 17 receptions for 60.7 reception percentage. He allowed 306 yards on those 17 receptions, averaged 18 yards per reception. He allowed 85 yards after the catch. The longest catch against him was 57 yards. And he allowed 3 touchdowns as well to only 1 pass breakup. He had 2 penalties, and the scary thing about him is this, Martin. He allowed, when targeted, an NFL passer rating of 133.9. I mean, the only way is up for here for Noah Igbenogany when you break down the numbers.
That That number just says I just switched to cornerback.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, Noah Igbinoghene, he's going to get a ton of chances, especially if we don't settle this X stuff. You know, the thing is, we'll be leaning on him heavily. What do you think of that, Martin? What's your opinion of Noah Igbinoghene being number 5 on this list?
I like it. I think I think it's fair. I think it's realistic. The uncertainty surrounding Xavien Howard is very real. And because it's real, we have to realistically consider who's going to be stepping in for Xavien. And Noah's the guy. Noah's the guy that only not only is going to be stepping in potentially, but he is definitely one that we must see better play out of, because he was thrown into that fire early as well, but man, was he was just getting barbecued against those teams early on with Stephon Diggs and obviously Tyler Lockett. He knows it too. Like, he watched the film. He's a super athletic guy. He's very smart. He knows he needs to improve. He knows he needs to show his worth. This is an excellent candidate for a breakout season because of all the stuff combined, and especially let's just see how this secondary does without Xavien, because I'm telling you, man, any type of hiccups as far as one guy getting just torched, you're
People
gonna
got to
hear.
remember, Diggs wasn't the only one who torched him. Tyler Lockett gave him that work pretty hard too.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Tyler
I
Lockett,
remember that.
who everyone knows I love. I think he's one of the most underrated guys in the NFL. But Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Lockett gave him that work too. It wasn't just Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
So, number four, Albert Wilson. And I've been talking about him since last offseason when he opted out. You can go back to the receipts there. I said he was the perfect fit for a guy like Tua. He just screams that Alabama prototypical receiver, quick, great route runner, gets open, naturally separates, good hands, reliable, deadly once the ball's in his hands with Yak. So, he opted out last year. You got to go back to 2019. He was targeted 61 times, 43 receptions, for 351 yards, 8.2 yards per reception, 1 touchdown. But he had, out of those 351 yards, my friend, 182 was Yak. If you go 2018, he had 391 yards, okay? In 2018, 345 of the 391 yards were Yak. When you look at 2017, his last year in KC, his best output, 580 yards, 326 of that was Yak. We're talking about a guy who, in the last 3 years of playing, 4.2 yards after the catch per reception, 13.3 yards after the catch per reception in 2018, and 7.4 yards after the catch per reception in 2017. I think this is a guy who I think he's going to have a big year. I truly believe this is going to be, I think he's one of the best, if not the best route runners on this team. I think he is going to absolutely light it up this year. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about an 800-yard season for Albert Wilson this year. I mean,
Wow.
you put him in all those opportunities Jakeem Grant had last year. He makes those catches, bro.
Wow. Very, very good point. Very good point. Yeah. And Albert Wilson is like how you said, if he was available last year for Tua, could he have been the number one target for Tua? Tua's targets dating all the way back to AY Beach in Hawaii. This guy loves speedy wide receivers that can separate, catch in stride, and take off. And for you to just, sum it up in what Albert Wilson does with Yak, that should be all what you need to know about Albert Wilson potentially becoming a breakout candidate this season. especially considering he took the year off last year, and the year prior to that, he was ascending. He was carving his niche in Miami. So this has nothing but upside when it comes to what Albert Wilson can bring to this team moving forward with Tua. This is Tua's type of wide receiver. No offense to DVP or even Preston, who we had a really good connection with last year, but this is the cutout of what Tua wants and needs as far as what fits Tua best. And this is actually a perfect way to kind of bring a tandem in when it comes to wide receiver to wide receiver. Albert Wilson, Jaylen Waddle. I think they're going to complement each other much more than and Fuller's really good, but my biggest thing with Fuller is durability. Just like Preston Williams, just like DVP. If we're gonna try to create any type of relationship with wide receivers and quarterbacks, Albert Wilson and Jaylen Waddle needs to be on Godsville's top priority as far as getting these type of receivers out there as much as possible, because those are going to be the guys I believe are going to be out there the most. I like this number 4 selection for a breakout candidate.
Yeah, I can't wait, bro. I think I just think, and he's, I know they said he's going to be playing the boundary too this year a little bit.
I like that.
So the opportunity is going to be there, and you think of the 11-man personnel with, the 11-man personnel out there. You can have Waddle, and Waddle, Wilson, and Fuller out there at the same time. Oh boy. You know what I mean? I think this is going to be a big year. I think at least 800 yards for Albert Wilson, man. I really do. So we'll see.
That's a NASCAR formation, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Waddle, Wilson, Fuller. Ugh.
Yep.
Good luck.
Gesicki at the seam.
Oh, good luck for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? By the sounds of it, you go to minicamp, Albert Wilson was one of the most talked about players about how he's performing. I've talked to his trainer. I talked to the photographer / trainer, Sebastian Alvarez, and they rave about this guy. And, they think he's one of the best route runners that they've seen up close and personal. So I truly think it's going to be a big return, and he's fully healthy. Like he had a year to get his body right. I think this is going to be a huge, huge year for Albert Wilson, man. I truly believe that. And you know me, I've been on this Albert Wilson train for quite some time, bro. So
yeah.
My number 3 potential breakout candidate, number 3, Andrew Van Ginkel. And he could have easily been number 2, but I got a surprise at number 2. This is a guy last year. He had 479 total snaps, okay? He had 212 in the pass rush and 196 in run defense, 71 in coverage, all right? He had 19 pressures. He had 6 sacks, 4 hits, 4 QB hits, 9 hurries. I mean, this is like, does it get more legit than that? I mean, think about this. 6 sacks and only 212 rush attempts. For comparison, Emmanuel Ogbah rushed the passer 522 times last year and had 9.5 sacks. Think about that. He also had 2 forced fumbles. He had 22 run stops. So, I think this is a guy, Andrew Van Ginkel, the snap count is going to go up, and the opportunities are going to be there. And I've said this since his first year here, especially specifically that Jets game where he had that huge sack on Darnold, and then Needham gave up the pass interference the next play, and we lost the game. Andrew Van Ginkel's a playmaker, and playmakers at that position are hard to find. They don't grow on trees, you know what I mean? And he's got hair like Jesus, and you go to the Buffalo Bills game, he was the only one that showed up in that game to me. Andrew Van Ginkel's a gamer, and just for like, you look at an example, right? To see you got the 479 snaps this year. Think of all the Van Noy snaps he's going to be taking too, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
this man's going to
Mm-hmm.
be eating. Kyle Van Noy, he missed games last year, and he still had 811 snaps. So it's realistic that Van Ginkel could have 700 to 800 snaps this year. And I think this is going to be a huge year for Andrew Van Ginkel, bro.
I agree. And I believe there's gonna come a point in time where people are gonna look back and see Andrew Van Ginkel and say this guy was a steal, right?
Yeah.
Now he reminds me, as far as who does this guy remind me of? Intensity, tenacity, his eagerness to make plays on the defensive side of the football. This guy, even with the hair, this guy reminds me of Clay Matthews, bro. And people forget how dominant Clay Matthews was once he hit his stride in Green Bay, where this guy was racking up at minimum 11, 12 sacks a year, right? I believe Andrew Van Ginkel and having him at number 3, I personally probably would have had him at number 2, arguably number 1, just because look who's going to be opposite of Van Ginkel, right? We're talking about Emmanuel Ogba, and you throw into that mix Jaylen Phillips, right?
Mm-hmm.
As an offensive coordinator and as a team, when you see guys with those type of abilities in Jaylen Phillips and Emmanuel Ogba, you put all concentration and focus on those type of players with that type of ability to just beat guys one-on-one. Van Ginkel does not have that, super, he's an awesome athlete. Don't get it twisted. He's an awesome athlete, but no, he doesn't put that much fear into you like say Emmanuel Ogba or even Jaylen Phillips when people actually get a whiff of him. AVG is gonna have so many opportunities, bro, as far as different pass rushes, different scheme, whether it be scheme blitzes and stunts. AVG, as far as a breakout candidate, he might flirt, and this is just me going off the top of my head. He might flirt with 15 to 20 sacks this year, dog. And that's a little. People might beat me up for that. Like, come
I
on,
can see
Martin, bro.
double. No, I can see double digits.
But the reason I throw out 15 to 20 is because I can clearly see him racking up in 2 to 3 games or 2 or 3 games randomly on the schedule where he gets 2 to 3 sacks, because people have to account for other players on this front, you know what I mean, including a Raekwon, including a Christian Wilkins, who I believe might potentially have to have his breakout season as well. So I'm just saying, man, there's just that everything is pointing to Van Ginkel being that specialty pass rusher that we haven't had in a long time. And the hope is that he just continues that trend of ascending from year to year. 2019, he had a couple, special teams big plays. 2020, man, there was just a handful of plays. Like, I just distinctly remember Van Ginkel just making the play. Even against the Broncos, when they were about to seal the game, Melvin Ingram's about to run it in for a touchdown. He goes right behind Ingram, punches it out, bow, turnover at their own goal line. So this dude, like how you said, he's a playmaker, bro. And I think he's going to take advantage of all the opportunities that's going to come his way, because there's just other guys around him that are just as talented, if not more, that's bound to get more attention than him. And he's going to exploit that for sure. For sure. I love Van Ginkel.
Yep. I like I said, double-digit sacks would not surprise me in the least bit with him this year. I expect big things because he's shown each year they've increased the responsibility, and each year he's responded. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you were to give him 800 snaps last year on the pace he was at, you're looking at 10 or 11.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
gotta love it. Number
Yes.
2 is a player that I've been talking about for over a year, was out of position, and they finally put him to where I believe he's best suited, and where I said on draft day when TD asked me for my scouting report of him that I can believe he'd be an all-pro at this position. It's Robert Hunt. I think I really have a strong belief where if Eichenberg shows up and is the fundamentally sound Mr. Technique that we expect him to be and plays well, I think the right side's going to be okay. It's the center and the left tackle spot that worry me the most when I actually look at this offensive line.
Mm.
And I think our right side could be dominant with Eichenberg and Robert Hunt. Could have been
Mm.
far more dominant with Robert Hunt and Tevin Jenkins, but I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. I think Robert Hunt is going to have a huge year now inside where he belongs. He won't get left out on an island. He won't have to worry about his kick slide, his slowness in the kick slide. The athleticism doesn't have to show up as much just when you pull a little bit. And this is a guy who, if you go watch him in college, he loved getting to the second level and blowing people up. Well, you'll get your chance with linebackers and ends when they try to stunt down the middle on you. And I think Robert Hunt, another year under his belt, I think he's in proper position. I think now the trajectory begins of him becoming an all-pro guard. Not this year, but in the next 2 to 3 years, I think he's an all-pro guard, bro.
I think that's very much so a possibility as well. I love I love envisioning Robert Hunt in that phone booth in the middle of that offensive line, bro.
Yeah.
When you have a technician like how you're saying in the Liam Eichenberg to the right of you, you have a veteran in
And I just wanted to
Skura.
add, because of Liam Eichenberg's high aptitude and his ability to recognize and diagnose blitzes and stunts, I think it's going to help Robert Hunt become a better communicator as well and better at recognizing that stuff. I think he'll feed off of that.
It boosts, yeah. That's excellent description as far as what can propel him over the top, because as much as it's important to be a physical guy as far as being in the trenches, that mind game is very real. Guys are coming from everywhere. These defensive coordinators are scheming up how to get pressure, and like how you're saying, Liam Eichenberg to the right, if he winds up being that right tackle for us and bumping Hunt in and just being a tag team to the right side, which is to his blind side, so that'll be a positive. Just having that there, it automatically boosts any type of doubt that you may have had in your mind about this play or that play. It's a sense of security when you have two guys to the right and to the left of you. And I love that Robert Hunt is going to be here, man, because I saw him take a couple snaps last year at guard, and he just clearly looks more comfortable at offensive guard. Not to say that he was uncomfortable at tackle, because it is what it is, but he just looks like, from his stance to how he gets off of the football, he's just more of a natural guard. And because he was bumped in, I kind of see him having this kind of chip on his shoulder, like let me prove to you that I got drafted that high for a reason. I can block. So I can't wait to see what he turns into, bro, in the interior, because again, for Tua, he succeeds when that interior is solid, when you have a wall in front of you. And from Kinley to Hunt, if he has a wall to just step up into the pocket, you talk about potentially being all pro type, Pro Bowl type, bro. Tua's eating this year or next year or beyond, when that left guard to right guard is as solid as can be. And Robert Hunt bumping in, that does nothing but put a smile on my face, because I know exactly what I'm getting out of him. Super strong, super motivated. I just need, everyone else to kind of get it together. Like you're saying, left tackle, center. Once these guys really, become cohesive, then we'll have somewhat of an identity. But right now, everything is going to be testing the waters throughout training camp and joint practices. So let's see how he jumps, man. I like this breakout candidate, man.
Yeah, I think he's I just stud, buddy. I mean, what
Mm-hmm.
else can you really say, right? Like,
He
absolute
will be.
stud, bro.
He will be. Mm-hmm.
And I think now that he's where he's supposed to be, I think it's going down, bro. I think this is going to be a big year for him on the inside. So, Robert Hunt, I think that right side is going to be solidified as long as Liam Eichenberg plays to what he can play. Just got to figure out that center position. Jury's still out
Mm-hmm.
on Austin Jackson because you go back to my evaluation of last year, he is who I said he was.
Bad habits, man.
So, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and a lot of people try to give me the excuse of, oh, well, the bone marrow. Okay, well, I watched film before he did the bone marrow thing, and I saw defenders coming across his face and beating him easily. What happened when Bradley Chubb came across, So, I mean, you can still see the habits, like you said, and the tendencies, like you said, and they showed right back up. So he's got to work on that. But
Yeah.
Robert Hunt on the inside, I think, running behind him and Eichenberg, there's going to be serious yardage to be gained, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And the number one breakout candidate for myself, number one, is Tua
Number one.
Tagovailoa. This shouldn't really come as a surprise to anyone. Coming off a year where he had a 64.1 completion percentage, only had 290 attempts, 1,814 yards, 11 touchdowns, passing touchdowns to 5 interceptions. If you go to his adjusted completion percentage, he jumps all, and that's throws on target and drops accumulated for. He actually jumps from a 64.1 completion percentage all the way up to a 74.2.
Mm.
And another scary thing that needs to be taken into account. So 290 pass attempts, right? 326 total dropbacks, but only 290 of those are pass attempts. Martin, on those 290 pass attempts, he was pressured 95 times.
Wow. Wow. Wow, man.
And only sacked on 20% on 20 of them. So we talked about his ability to evade pressure. He's the second in the NFL last year in evading pressure, over 24%. Now you see that he dropped back 290 times and he's pressured 95. That's almost a third of your dropbacks, Martin. Suffered drops, especially the last week. If you go by the last week and those drops, over 11 drops, those don't happen. He's putting up over 550 yards. Had an 87.1 passer rating. Average time to throw was about 2.52 seconds, which that needs to be boosted up big time. So yeah, I just I think this is going to be a big year for Tua Tagovailoa. Obviously, we got all these additions to the offense. We got these upgrades coming in. Hopefully, they do their job in terms of the offensive line, give them the time to throw. But I just when I see that, it's kind of scary when he's pressured on 95 times on 290 dropbacks.
That
Sorry,
that's
attempts. My bad.
that is I can understand why he was running, uncharacteristically out of the pocket. Like when we were watching him last year, we were like, why isn't Tua stepping into the? We clearly can see why he was like at 60% health. That paranoia just builds on a daily when you're getting pressured like that, bro. And again, shout out to Tua for just being a warrior, man, because not too much
And I
complaining
gotta say
last year.
this: Rome, I
Mm-hmm.
love you, but he says Austin Jackson had more diversity than anybody in the Dolphins and more than any rookie. I think he'd be fine. I think Tua had more adversity than any rookie, considering he's only at 60% health. When you go back and watch my interview with Nick Hicks, coming off that injury, I think he had the most adversity of any player, but I digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but again, Tua is a warrior, bro. Tua is a warrior for hanging in there, bro. I think as far as this being the number one candidate to break out is valid. It's fair because all that was working against him last year, and we're talking about not only on the field as far as the teams that he was playing up against, but also in the locker room, in the coaching room. There was a lot that Tua had to deal with, bro. And for him to get through that and still be one game away, 4 quarters away from making the playoffs, you got to tip your hat to, who he is as a person, and more importantly, what he is as a player and what he's going to become once we pretty much get things going this season. Tua is probably the only guy I have the most hope in as far as how this team is gonna go moving forward, because I mentioned this to you, privately. Our schedule, bro. This
I got people saying,
shish.
"Oh, it's easy because of the strength." We got the second or third easiest schedule, bro. That's on strength of schedule last year.
Yeah, I look.
That's not on based on these current rosters, man.
Straight up and down from week 1 to week 18, bro. If we do not come out there war ready, and we don't have a game plan in place to score and to stop the other team from scoring on a consistent basis for 60 minutes, we can very easily go 9-8, bro. Like I'm being and people might not want to hear that, but that's just the God's honest truth, bro. This schedule is not pretty. It is Medusa ugly, bro. And if we're gonna have any hope, man, a breakout season from Tua is what I'm putting my chips on, because like I said before, he's been through so much. He's overcome that season, COVID, injuries, Gailey, Fitz, Flores. He's overcome that, right? Now he comes into this, bringing Wilson, bringing Waddle, bringing Fuller, bringing Hunter, bringing Eichenberg, bringing Dorsey, bringing Stootsville, so we can get this offense tailored towards what fits him best. Everything is lining up for Tua to have a breakout season, and if anything, is not clear as far as who needs to be, our number one candidate as far as who's going to have a breakout season, it has to be Tua. And I don't want to put that much pressure on a second year player, because that's just unfair altogether. But I do believe Tua can handle it. He can handle the pressures of winning, and he can handle the pressures of not winning. But for the most part, I just want to see that consistent game by game, you know, stack up drive by drive. Let's start getting used to being consistent. And I think Tua has everything lined up as far as what occurred throughout this offseason. I think Tua's gonna be that guy for us, man. And I hope the critics and criticism kind of dies down after the 2021 season, because I just see Tua being here for a long time, if not, you I just see it happening. I've already envisioned this in the playoffs. I've envisioned this in the AFC Championship game, but it's with Tua at the helm. So breakout season, yes, we need that from Tua, and I believe Tua is going to respond the only way he knows how to respond, and I can't wait for that, bro.
Yep. So that's the top 5 potential breakout candidates as I see them for you guys. I was gonna open it up, but I'm actually quite tired, and I'm gonna be back here tomorrow night, so I'll probably open it up tomorrow night. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, Martin?
Final thoughts, man. Great show. You know what I'm saying? Great topic. I love the top 5 that you had. I believe that I believe that there are, other players like I mentioned, like a Christian Wilkins, um, if anything, Jerome Baker. You know what I mean? There's other guys that I believe need to have breakout seasons as well. But that top five is spot on, bro. If you ask me, as far as guys you need to see break out and break through, because time's up, bro. It's time to strap up them chin straps. It's time to be a professional, and it's time to really form your identity on this team, and we need to continue to build this culture to where we're used to being great. This whole thing of I'm not sure about this game, I'm not sure about that game, that has to die this year, bro. That really has to die this year. It's either we're gonna be who we set out to be, or we're not. And we've been on that not train for too long. So it's about time for us to just be who we expect to be, and that's just a consistent franchise that every single game, every single week, the opposing team has to circle us. It has to be our team has to be circled on the calendar. So let's keep pushing on, man. And again, 3 weeks, beginning of training camp, man. Let's get it started, man.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow night, and we will, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. On our way to 4,500. Let's get to 5K before the season starts. Tomorrow I'll be back, and I'll be taking a look at the top 5 veterans I think could be on the roster bubble and maybe cut. So we'll take a look at that tomorrow night, as well as some more news and topics. I appreciate you for joining me tonight, Martin. Appreciate all of you for spending some of your time on your Tuesday with me. I will see you guys tomorrow night right back here on Phinside the NFL. I hope all you guys stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Fins up all day, every day, baby.
Peace.